All right. So my name is Stefan Kwak. I go to Bellarmine. I'm going to be a senior next year. And so what my project was about was for the past 2 weeks, I've been in a Stanford neurodiversity program. It was just where we learned about what neurodiversity is. It was 2 weeks long. And overall, we just wanted to learn what it was and how to implement it into our society and our community. So what we came up with is a project idea for our school was we implement neurodiversity through a plant social entrepreneurship club. So before we start, I'll go over what neurodiversity is. So neurodiversity is a new field of study that's not incorporated in research yet, but it comes, if I was to summarize what neurodiversity was, it would just be understanding that as some people consider mental handicaps, which can include ADHD, mental illnesses, anything related to that, autism, Down syndrome, doesn't matter what, we consider it not a handicap, but we consider them neurologically diverse. So that will be the most correct term to say it. And also the field of study will be seeing there'll be different fields, but the one I'll be focusing on will be the social model, which is when we change society to fit in those people who are neurologically diverse. So instead of treating them for the disability they have, we would instead be changing the society around them to be more inclusive for them. So relating to our school, and this also relates to future opportunities for Hwarang as well, will be so the problem will be in our school is we don't have I guess neurodiversity representation because Bellarmine is an elitist school, so we don't really I guess accept people who are neurologically diverse. So that comes the underrepresentation and marginalization. And because there's not that much representation of neurologically diverse people, there's limited education upon them, which is what we can also expand upon. And there's not much talk about it. Nobody talks about it, and I guess nobody acknowledges the fact that it exists in our community. So this is the part we can leverage into our community will be pre-professionalism. That is what we're talking about, is implementing entrepreneurship and integrating it with neurodiversity. So I'll go on that and a little more. Our school really focuses on social justice and I guess agendas to be inclusive for everybody. And I feel neurodiversity would be the way to go and completely, I guess, acceptable. Anyway, so the vision I'll read aloud, to incorporate the field of neurodiversity into the future of entrepreneurship, inspiring a future generation of entrepreneurs and engineers that are mindful of the needs of those of the neurodiverse community. So our vision is to integrate neurodiversity in entrepreneurship. So for the future, we can create entrepreneurs who are and will create products or any ideas to be inclusive for everyone who is neurodiverse. So in our mission we will aim to educate students about neurodiversity during our school and equip them with the tools to actively engage in the creation of a more inclusive community at Bellarmine College Preparatory. Sorry. So I guess that's what we want to do in Bellarmine, and we aim to do that this year. And also all this applies to Hwarang. We can also create Hwarang clubs related to neurodiversity. We can hold events, and I'll get into that more later. Okay, so right now at my school, we have several structures already existing. So one of them will be the Plant Entrepreneurship Club, which is the club we're going to be integrating with. So what that club focuses on is creating, I guess, early connections with other people around us. So we have been having speakers mainly from Stanford about entrepreneurship and also like how to take seize of opportunities you get. And we aim to integrate neurodiversity into that field of study as well. We also have access to the Maker Lab, which can be used in the future when I explain about what that can be. So Maker Lab is where we can do 3D printing and make products. Leadership, me, my friends, Charles and Michael. So meetings, we don't really need to get into it, but it's just weekly meetings, and we'll be talking about neurodiversity into lecture forums, whether it be guest speakers or I'm giving the lecture, and they'll be all periodic events. And the most important thing we think it will be the awareness aspect. which would be club collaboration. We could talk to admin about integrating with the whole school, and and advertisements through social media or whether it be school's newspaper. In terms of the short-term plan we have, it will be education. We have two parts. It will be education and projects. So on the education aspect, we'll be holding lectures, as I explained. We would aim for guest speakers for small crowds in the beginning and hopefully bigger in the later. We could also have lectures on universal design, and that leads to me going over the projects, which would be the design sprint. So we will be designing specific products or environments to be acceptable for all who are neurodiverse, and we have to actually implement that into our community. And we hope to talk to admin about how to integrate neurodiversity education into even our school curriculum, because I feel like that's very important. Anyways, okay, so the growth plan, so it comes in 3 steps. Will be collaboration, which makes our reputation greater, which leads to greater expansion. So we aim to establish a better reputation, which can only be possible through constant weekly meetings and consistency, also with collaboration with other clubs and outside organizations. So what I mean by integrating with entrepreneurship, we aim to contact outside organizations. So before I get into that, if I go back to the previous slide, this company right here, I don't know if you guys see your mouse, it's called Magical Bridge, and it's I forgot it. There was a mom who didn't like the playgrounds that was in Palo Alto, and she decided to create a whole company and got sponsored by the government to create playgrounds who are fit for everyone who are neurologically diverse, and it allows everyone to play inclusively, not just those who are neurotypical. So if we were to come, and we would aim to collaborate with those organizations and other companies to focus on neurodiversity and also entrepreneurship. And we also have a website, which we aim to grow and spread awareness for. And in terms of long-term goals, we have 3. It will be, first off, will be school-wide interaction. So which could be the school newspaper, whether it be, but we want meetings. We want people to attend the meetings and to grow awareness. We want discussion, education, lectures, anything to spread the word out. Number 2, because I'm a senior right now, I'm gonna be not here next year, and we hope to strive this, keep this going for after we leave. So that'll be longevity. And also, if I was to implement this into Hwarang, I also would want to make this last longer than just me in my participation. So we aim to keep this going as long as possible. And finally, the most important aspect, I believe, is the community aspect, which would be if we can actually implement the ideas we're talking about into our own communities. I guess that's like the most important thing. Anyway, success metrics, challenges. If we will quantitatively measure success for my first meetings and clubs, will be 15 members-ish, and it relates to Hwarang a lot more. Qualitatively, I wish everyone could be really passionate about what we're doing instead of just going through the motions. I feel like that'll be the qualitative measure of success. How might this fail? Of course, there's the issue of lack of interest. Yeah, but we could solve that through many different ways, but it's really difficult because we're online through Zoom. So previously we could bribe people with food, but that doesn't really exist anymore. So I feel like we'll go through the new avenue of just straight advertising, which will be social media. And if in integration of Hwarang, we'll be on our media committee with June, we'll be advertising about it, mom newsletters, the group chats, everything. Yeah. Okay, but before I end, I want to talk about how I can implement this into Hwarang. So I feel to implement neurodiversity into Hwarang, we should be creating a new committee or all that sort of stuff to, I guess, collaborate even with my school and other different schools who create neurodiversity clubs within. Because during my program, we had around 40 people from around 15 different schools, and that's just different avenues I can always contact and get information from, and have collaborations with, even through this organization called Horang. And I feel if we can do that, that'd be great. All right.